Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Connie coming on today to share with you the elephant number 1 from Marjorie and Designs Easter elephants. So I've got a couple things. I started his face or her face, however I have that done. The mouth, I understand it looks like it's very broad, but because of the trunk it has to be a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna see if I can, pick this up. This is one of them. The other one's drying too, but I put some yellow stickles on the flowers already in the center, so got those put together. I have the rest of the set done. I'm not going to share it with you now because it is my design team project, but I will be coming back and sharing with you the layout I do. I'll do that process. Also want to let you know that there's flower and they're drying, so I'm trying to be careful. Excuse again my reach. This flower, so the yellow one and the turquoise and the purple one with the leaf, I brought those in from the clip art. They weren't in the SVG file, but I did just bring them in from clip art and change them to a cut file. So they are cut and inked and everything, and then I embossed the larger flowers. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start on the ears and put those together, and like I said, I'll show you a few things I did different. So there's 2 ear pieces, and when I first did the ear, it's like, what the heck? I didn't know how it went together. It was crazy. Maybe because it was probably late again at night, or sometimes I get up really early because I can't sleep, and then I'm still kind of lost. So I don't put glue all the way to the bottom because it doesn't go like this. It doesn't meet at the bottom. I just put it about where I want it for the height at the top. And then I leave that extra piece on the bottom just for stability when I attach it to the head. Okay, this piece, excuse me, get some glue on it. This piece is just, I have to think about this for just a moment. Yeah, ironically, it does go like this. Okay, so you've got your piece. It does meet at the bottom on this one. This one does match. Just kind of center it. And it will all come together, believe it or not. Like I said, it just took me a bit. And this part of the ear, I have to be careful with this little tail here. It's actually going to come at an angle, okay? And it'll just barely cover the top part there. So what I like to do is put some glue in here. And I have decided to do this as an 8.5 by 11 layout, well, double page layout, but I will share with you my project there. And again, I'm trying to match this all up, so get that. I'm just kind of get that together like that. If you see my hands throwing things, let's see, I won't tell you what one thing happened, but it was kind of funny, but it wasn't. But I bought a bunch of bananas, and I was planning to eat a few of them and then make some banana bread. Well, I managed to get 2 out of 6 bananas ate, and for some reason my hands just decided to throw them on the floor, and I'm sure they were fine yet to eat, but I have a problem with brown skinned bananas. I don't know what it was. I don't know why, but yeah, I did figure out what's going on and with my hands, and it's so yeah, I just getting worse. I have some stuff to use, but treatment options, but I every time it happens, it just throws me off because it's not, I'm not quick enough to. My reflexes aren't as good anymore, so to try to catch something, it's because it's gone before you know it. It's lately I've been searching for a lot of small pieces because sometimes my hands will release the tweezers before it lets stuff fly, but other times not, so you never know. It's crazy. Now the other elephant, I made the very first one. I made this light color and then this part dark. It's pretty either way. In the picture, it's this way, dark and then lighter. So it's completely up to you. I kind of like the opposite too. I just decided to follow the pattern on these, and I can't remember how they imported. I think they imported with the way it is here. It's been a bit. And as far as size, all of my elephants that I made, I don't have the full sizing, but I can tell you that my elephant heads from cheek to cheek are 1.75 inches wide. And then I have a video on how I resize things. I let Cricut Design Space do the rest. And so then all of my pieces, except my individual flowers, they're all sized accordingly, so they all kind of match. And the flowers, not these three that I just showed you, but the other flowers, this is how I get the glue out. The other flowers I took, I want to say like around 0.66 times the overall width of the orange flowers, so, and the white one, so gives you an idea. Now before I put the head on, because I still have a part to do on the ears, but I put the ears on so they're sandwiched between the background piece and the head. So that's why I said I leave this tail on. It just adds a little more stability on this piece. And I just put it down maybe 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch right in there. Kind of depends how far you want it down. I'm going to leave this one off a minute and put the earpieces on. And these just go right on here and meet over here. And I've learned to start on the outside edge, and then I just kind of get the paper going to go as it should the rest of the way I guide it. So I start on this edge because it'll meet up here, and okay, so I hold it and then I just kind of guide it with my tweezers, go around and make sure everything's even there. So there is no, I shouldn't say absolutely no right or wrong. I mean, you want to kind of get the pieces where they belong, but as far as getting them where they should go, it's up to you what you're comfortable with. I'm just showing you how I do it. Everybody does things different, and I wouldn't ever say that it's right or wrong. It's, started doing this one with the elephants to get it to fit better, and it has worked better for me. So I'll say that. Okay, now I'm going to put this ear on. The reason I wanted to wait is to put this on is because it actually goes, this back piece goes over that. So put a little bit of glue on both pieces here. And it's easier to put on if the gray part is on. I don't want too much of it coming down here. Before you put the head on, you want to put the body on. And in this case, it's just this little part of the body. Like I said, I already did the face. I used some, I'll show you in a moment, but some colored pencils. I don't have Copics other than maybe 2 Copic colors. I realized pretty much on my colored pencils to enhance my paper pieces, and it's not, I gotta get it over further here. I might have it upside down. Let's see. Yeah, that was probably the problem. I'm not so worried about the bottom because it's going to be covered by an egg, but at the top it's got to be, it's got to cover up there. So still, when I don't want it to move, it does, right? Okay, I'm going to try to get it down here just a little bit. I'm going to leave it. Like I said, the egg's going to cover the bottom. If it bothers you, you could always trim that off. I'm trying to make sure it's all covered here, especially right in here, so there's no gap. So when I put the head on and everything, it's not going to gap right in here. I think, yeah, not even the arm would have taken care of that. So I'm going to use my other glue just because it's a bigger piece, and then I'll be getting closer to done. I also like to use my beacon on a little bit bigger piece because I have more wiggle time, so to speak. So all right, put his trunk on. I don't know if you can see the blue on the eyes is the colored pencil. I use it also on the trunk. On the eyes, just remember when you're working on black, yeah, you want a lighter color, because I had started with the color that I thought would work really well, and it was a little bit darker color. Wow. It was way too dark, so I had to go over it, and then, yeah, so the lighter color shows up much better. If you're not familiar with colored pencils on black, you might just try a light color. Like, you know, if you'd think you would want to use maybe a darker blue or a darker teal. No, that's not the case. So, because I believe I started out with the blue that was the darker edge of this, thinking it'll work good, and I know better, so it's all good. I ended up with the color, I think, even a little bit lighter than the actual blue of the egg. Okay, going to quick get this on. This does not go straight on the egg like I want it to. Everything has to be, you know, straight up and down. I'm just getting some glue on here that I don't get to too much. I don't like glue on my skin. I have quite a few skin allergies, so I'm pretty careful, so I just put it on a scratch piece of paper. And this actually does go at an angle. Okay, this one doesn't get anything. Let's work on the blue one quick. Get this going. Oh, I love it when they line up. The edge of this is a little tiny bit rounded and it just lines right up on the edge of the egg. You could put glitter on here if you wanted. I'm not going to. There's quite a bit of glitter on the page because I'll be adding some to the rabbit ears, and like I said, I've got it on this flower centers. Okay, now I'm going to put this piece on, this piece, and then the whites of the rabbit ears. Excuse me, well, they're bunny ears, yeah. I did ink those in pink, just real light pink. And this just goes around the head. Okay, let me think now. So we've got this one in front, just below the trunk. Put that on. And it's gonna go this way, so put a little glue there. Again, get the excess glue out of here. Okay. Now the little feet, hands, whatever you want to call them. This would be feet, obviously. There are little pink, I guess you'd call them nails. Not sure. I think you should have, in this case, it would be 8, 4 for each foot. The very first set of elephants I made, I used them. And I hadn't made a set since. And I don't know why, when I was making these, I thought, you know what? There's got to be an easier way to do the pink parts, like the nails, just because I struggled lately, working with the smaller pieces. And I thought, yeah, I've got liquid pearls. So I got the liquid pearls out. And I had a raspberry color, way too dark. And then I was looking at my stuff and I thought, oh, I have pops of color and it's bubblegum. And it's the pearl kind. I think that's what they call theirs too, I'm not sure. And that works. So I'm using my guide on my mat to determine where I want, or that these bottoms get even. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this underneath. And I will do the same for my grass. And I'm just gonna put a bead of glue here and just a little bit, let's see, Just kind of looking at the picture to see how far this goes. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down here and kind of bring this under so I can get it straight. It could go up a little more. I'm good with where it's at. Okay, and then again, excuse me, I'm going to try to get these on and not damage the glitter or have it everywhere. I wasn't thinking when I put the glitter on first. I don't know why I always do that. So I always have glitter or liquid pearls, you name it, on my hands. And I've learned to always wear my craft shirts because I tend to use my shirts as my rag, my, clean everything up rags. So, okay, just about done. If you want to hang around, and I'm trying to get the lid on the glue. Major task. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to do the insides first. I am using Nouveau Drops White Blizzard Glitter Drops. Sorry for the shadow. I have to see what I'm doing here. Okay. It dries a little bit lighter. I just gotta have my glitter, I see I'm just a tiny hair off. I'm not gonna worry about it. Again, if it's not pointed out, you don't see it. So you'll see it now because I pointed it out. Let's see. I like to get anything thick started, and sometimes I have to do that with my stickles too. The pops of color and the Nouveau drops have been pretty decent, but I haven't had to start them with the pin. I've been very happy with them. Sometimes the glitter, and that makes it so much easier because I ink every little tiny piece, so you don't have to ink the pieces, and yeah, it just works good. So that is my finished piece. Again, I will be back with the put my little flowers in. I'll be back with the finished layout, or not the finish, but to show you the layout process. So thanks for joining me. Have an awesome day. Take care, everybody.